Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. So happy to welcome our friends from the Stark County District Library. We've got Mariana DiGiacomo and Derek Gordon. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Derek, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
First of all, what in the world drew you from parks, working in the parks, to the library? And you weren't working hard enough trying to raise funds for Stark Parks. Now you're trying to keep the library funded as well. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
That's right. Well, it turns out there's a lot of similarities when it comes to levy funding and facilities and things like that. So I found the transition actually to be relatively smooth. A lot of similar public type aspects to the job, and really working with a great group of people at the library, which really makes the job a lot of fun. So, but yes, we do have a levy coming up on the ballot. May 7th is the election day for that, and we have an issue number 8. I think a lot of people don't realize, 20 plus years ago, there was no local levy funds for libraries. It was all state funded. So now that that's become the norm, actually over half of our funding now at Stark Library is from our local property tax, and we don't see that necessarily becoming less. So we're asking for an increase this time in May, and we're trying to expand all of the vital services that we already offer in terms of our technologies, our materials, our programs. There's so many things that we do here. But the other thing has to do with some of our buildings that are starting to age and need some upgrades, and really just provide the services that the modern patrons are asking for. So as you know, we have a building in Jackson right now that we're constructing, and we want to try to bring that same level of service and technologies and offerings to all of our buildings if the levy's successful.
So where are we with the Jackson building?
The Jackson building is underway. Our contractors are taking possession of the site right now. And we actually have a formal groundbreaking scheduled for April 13th at 2 o'clock. So we're really excited about that. We really want the community to come out to that and include them in the whole program. So it's a very exciting time for us, and something that I think the entire community is going to be very proud of when it's completed.
Where will this be? Where is it going to be located once it's built?
The
new Jackson building.
Yeah, the Jackson building is actually about 100 yards from where it was originally.
Okay. Which direction?
In North Park, it'll be, I think, actually west of the original site.
Okay.
I believe we're actually able to keep the same address, too, so that'll keep it
that's
very easy
nice.
for everybody.
That's very nice. What's going to happen to the building, the little office space over where it is right now, over, by Ace Hardware and Bueller's and everything?
I know we will be leaving that when we build the new building.
Right.
I'm sure they'll find somebody great in there.
Great.
Because it's a neat little storefront over there. But when we open up, we're excited because we're kind of the first part of a staged program for the entire park system over there. They're going to be building an amphitheater, and the way our building is being designed is going to look right down into that stage area and really just be a nice fit with that entire park setting with the school across the street, the parks, the YMCA across the way. So just a nice kind of community hub for the folks in Jackson Township.
Hats off to the library for having spectacular office buildings. The one in Perry Sippo has got to be the most beautiful place I've ever visited. And now you're talking about something that just may rival it.
Yeah, we get a lot of compliments on the Sippo building, and I think it's something here that we want to kind of replicate that same kind of feel. The views are going to be really nice, and people just come in and want to read a book or enjoy some of the programs that we have to offer.
Half the people listening are already aware of how important this is because they are up to date on all the new services that a library provides. Half of them say, I haven't checked out a book in so long. I read my Kindle. Why do we need a library levy? Talk to those people.
Well, I can tell you, I love to read, but I've struggled with, as busy as I am in my workday, to actually take a book out and have the time to read it. Just on my way here to the interview today, I've downloaded the Libby.com app. And I get free audiobooks on my phone. I can tie that into my car. It doesn't use your data. So that alone has been a huge, simple thing for me, and it doesn't even scratch the surface on the number of offerings that we have. We have our free Wi-Fi hotspots that people can take home, and you don't have to pay for the data on those if you want them. I know we have a lot of training applications and that a lot of businesses are now using to enhance their workforce for free. So, and again, I know I'm only touching on just a few of the things we have to offer. Mariana's going to talk about a lot of our programs we do as well, but that's just the short list, and they're things that all walks of life in Stark County can benefit from with their library card.
Do you have information sessions where people can come in and just become absolutely reacquainted with the library, because this is not our grandparents' library at all?
Yeah, maybe not like a library 101.
Yeah, like
That's a great
library
idea.
101. Like tell us what all can we do that we didn't know.
We have one-on-one sessions actually. So you can make a one-on-one appointment, and if you just got a Kindle or you have a laptop and you want to learn how to set it up, you can make a one-on-one appointment, and we have librarians that can walk you through how to set up your Kindle, how to use Hoopla, how to do the Libby app. So it's that's a really great service.
It's hilarious. Just we're saying words that 5 years ago we'd be going, wait, what? But these are all words that we say regularly now,
right?
Like
Libby and Hoopla.
Yes, exactly. Become familiar with it. All right. Here's a new program I just heard about, and I'm loving this. 1,000 books before kindergarten. What is this?
Yeah, we are so excited about this. So, as Derek mentioned about the vital services that the library provides, early literacy is one of those really important services that we provide, and we really strive to connect parents, grandparents, caregivers with the resources they need so that they can help their children be prepared for kindergarten when they start. Those first 5 years, as you know, are so important, and the really simple things that parents do with their kids really make a difference. And just reading books every day is one of those things that can make a huge difference. It can really impact a child's life. It can put them on the road to being a successful student, to being a lifelong reader and learner. So 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is a program that's designed to help parents read to their kids every day with kind of that milestone, trying to reach 1,000 books. And it sounds like a lot, but it's really, if you read 3 books a day, then you can reach 1,000 books in a year. So it's
true.
Really not
it doesn't take
it's
that
not
long.
much.
What age should you start reading to your children?
You can start when you're pregnant.
Yeah, I've heard that.
From the time
Isn't
a
that
baby is
fun?
born. And we encourage that from really the time you bring your baby home from the hospital. You should start reading to them and talking to them. And their neurons are firing rapidly during those first 5 years. So it's a great time to just start, visiting the library and checking out books. And that book, it's really a great way to bond with your baby as well when you read to them every day.
I love talking literacy with you because I know this is your thing. Is it picture books or books with words, or is there a better, or what would you
it's
say?
Really anything that interests your child. Derek and I always talk about his son loves dinosaurs. His son actually completed 1,000 books before kindergarten. He's already read 1,000 books.
And
so
he is how
amazing.
old?
He's 3.5.
So he's going to be on his way to
well on his way.
1,000 books.
He'll be
before
the kindergarten teacher's little assistant, I have a feeling.
Well, he's shy, so he likes his books. He doesn't have to interact. He can just sit there in his little world and read everything that's in front of him.
That's so cute. I've always been amazed at how 3-year-olds are able to pronounce all the dinosaur names and inform me all about all of them. Do you find that to be true for him?
He knows more of them than I do and can pronounce them much better than I can. So, yeah, he's well on his way.
It's so funny because with a child that age, we wouldn't think of using that many syllables in talking to them, but there they are talking about, Stegosaurus and blah, blah, blah.
Every day it's a new word or a new dinosaur that it's just amazing to see what they can learn.
I try not to tell too many personal stories, but standing in line at the Cleveland Museum one time, and we were about to see a big dinosaur exhibit, and a mother behind us said something so wrong, and my very young child was like, this is making me so angry. She just doesn't know it. She's telling her kid something that's just not true. Mom, can I say something? It's like, no, we're not going to interfere in that family time. But anyway, they know.
They do.
It's amazing. All right, so 1,000 books before. This is all honor system, or how does this work?
So you can actually, starting this week, you can come into the library and you can sign up. All of our story times are going to be having special kickoff events. And you can, you go in, you sign up, you'll get a little packet of materials. You'll get a card with 100 little check marks at a time so you can check off the books. And you don't have to read, it's not 1,000 individual or different titles. You can read the same book over and over again. You know how kids love to do that.
My next question. Yes.
So if your child has a favorite book and they want to keep reading it, then you can, mark it down. If you read it every night for a month, it's 30 times.
We read Are You My Mother at least 1,000 times
I remember
before
that
dinner.
one.
Yes,
that was cute.
That was an all-time fave.
Well, I'll tell you, the story times are a great way to get kind of started on that. Our staff do a great job not only getting the kids excited about reading and reading to them, but it seemed like every time we were there was a different type of book that was out there, a series of books, and there were usually some dinosaurs, or if it's something seasonal for a holiday that's coming up, that really tie into what the kids are already interested in anyway. So it really makes it easy for them to participate.
Is there some kind of recognition from the library once they hit that milestone?
Yeah, so we're going to be giving out stickers for incentives. And then at 500 books, the children will receive a book. And at 1,000 books, they'll receive a second book.
Well, very cool.
Yep, so build up your library. So there's some...
How do you get signed up for it?
Just visit the library, and actually you can do it on our website as well. If you go to starklibrary.org and click on the 1,000 Books link, you can register there.
Oh, what a good idea. Great idea. You also have a poetry contest coming up for the poetic ones among us. What's happening there?
So also to encourage kids to read and express themselves through poetry. Our poetry contest has been really popular. We've been doing it for many, many years now. It's for children in grades 2 through 12. And then we also have an adult poetry contest as well. So if adults would like to try their hand at writing a poem, they can do that. You can submit entries at any of our locations. And then in May, we have a poetry open mic night for adults and a poetry cafe for the 2nd through 12th graders, where you can come in and read your poem. So the kids really love it. They dress up and come in, and they get to go up on the stage and read their poem.
Yes. Yeah, and we all click our fingers. Very beatniky, isn't it? Do you have, there's a word out of the past. Do you have coffee and stuff like that?
We do have little light refreshments, so It's a lot of fun.
Very, very fun. We find out when those are taking place by going to your website?
You can visit our website. We're accepting entries now, and the events are happening in May.
Wonderful. You have Listen at the Library. What is that?
Yeah, this is a great partnership that we have with the Canton Symphony Orchestra. Again, this is another program that we've been doing for many, many years now. So this is kind of like Storytime meets the Canton Symphony Orchestra. So when you attend these programs, we have 3 members of the symphony that join us with their instruments, and then a children's librarian who reads a story that's accompanied by the musicians. So it's really cool how the music kind of, how they flow that through the story, and the two kind of mingle together. And then it also gives the children that are attending an opportunity to hear from the musicians, to ask questions about the instrument, and just to hear a little bit about what the symphony is like.
How did that collaboration start?
It started many years ago, and it was before I started there. I remember when I first started at the library, I actually got to read by being accompanied, and I thought that was just one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
And it's so we pick out the stories and then match it up with the symphony works to figure out where the music goes. It's very interactive, so the kids get to stand up and move around a lot and dance. It's really a fun program.
Very, very cool. And again, I'm sure the dates for this are always on your website.
Yes, you can visit our website, but they are the week of March 11th through the 18th, so at all of our regularly scheduled story times.
All this week?
Yes.
All this week, special musical accompaniment.
Yep.
What? Very fun. My goodness. All right, so you've got a special speaker coming in, and we do have time to at least tell who that's going to be and a little bit about him. So tell me, who is coming?
So on April 2nd, we have our finale event of the Speaking of Books author series, and we are so excited to have astronaut Mike Massimino joining us at the Palace Theater at 6:30 p.m.
We recognize his name as being an astronaut. Can you tell me what mission he was on? Do you happen to know?
He did some Hubble space missions. He actually has an interesting story. His book is called Spaceman, and it's about his unlikely journey to becoming an astronaut. So he talks about remembering the moon landing when he was 6 years old, and the next day asking his mom to take him to the libraries, and said that he just wiped out their section on space books. And that was how he got interested in space. And he said that, he was a kid from Long Island who was afraid of heights and had bad eyesight, and yet he became an astronaut.
Yet he was able to become an astronaut.
Yeah, so it's a really cool story.
Because I did think that those first astronauts were always people who had flown they were like flying super fast jets and trying to break the sound barrier. And then those were the likely candidates to suddenly be strapping themselves on top of dynamite and shooting off the planet, which how crazy do you have to be to say that's what I want to do?
And this is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, so it's kind of good timing for this event. I would suggest, if people are interested, visiting our website, starklibrary.org, and reserving seats. The seats are filling up fast for this one. That
will fill up very quickly, yes. Okay, we do need to take a short break. We are visiting with Mariana DiGiacomo and Derek Gordon from the Stark County District Library. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.